All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning into WFTDA.tv. We are getting ready for this triple header featuring the Mad Rollin Dolls of Madison, Wisconsin, taking on the Chicago Outfit from Chicago, Illinois. My name is Wilhelm Scream.
And I'm Rich Mahogany.
We will be your stream announcers for this opening bout of this triple header day, starting out with the C teams. The teams are Team Unicorn from the Mad Rollin Dolls and the Shakedown from the Chicago Outfit.
All right, we're going to just go down the list for the Shakedown players here. We've got skater 1031, Pandemic, 1102, L on Wheels, 1111, Beatrix Itch, 13, Rapscallion, 182, Bruce Violet, 22, Annie Smackyow, 40, Casey Mason, 5, Fox Force, skater 615, Badger to the Bone, skater 810, D-Ride or Die, 818, Undead Misread, 95, Hooligan, and XOX Flutter, and finally we have 123 Puck, supported on the bench by Apostrophiend and the Champ.
And skating for Team Unicorn from the Mad Rollin Dolls, 01 Daisy Juke, 0I Good Riddance, number 10 A Magnitude, 117 Jane Dusnark, 120 Battle Frog, 3 AM Booty Collins, 49 Donna Stunner, 50 The Heat, 796 Conan the Librarian, 800M Bada Boombox, 86 Guacamole, B222 Bumble Beatdown, High 5 Shantastic McAwesome, I4I Hammer Abbey, 22 Happy Go Lucky, 45 Nefarious, and their bench staff is Two Stroke and True Blood. And you can talk to us on Twitter using the hashtag talk2WFTDA. That's talk2WFTDA. And you can talk to us on Twitter. Both these leagues getting ready for tournament season. The Chicago Outfit will be heading to Kitchener, Ontario for the D2 tournament. Mad Rollin Dolls in Charleston for the Division 1 tournament. Chicago Outfit looking to see if they can't take the top spot in their tournament in Kitchener so they can head on to championships to take on the number 1 team from Duluth. WFTDA tournaments starting up next weekend with Duluth, Minnesota being the first host. Division 2 tournament starting on Friday. Once again, this first bout of the day is going to be featuring the C teams from both leagues. Once this one's completed, we'll be moving on to the A teams and then finishing out the day with the B squads.
It should be a very entertaining evening of roller derby. Plenty of games, plenty of action. I'm looking forward to it.
These two teams do have a little bit of history with each other on the A squads. Chicago actually holding a 2-1 advantage in the win column. But if you look at the WFTDA standings, Madison looking to equalize that so they can force a rubber match for the bout 5. Madison holding a much higher ranking in WFTDA.
We will have the national anthem here, sung by Amy Jones. All right, and with that, we will have our skaters lining up for the first jam. So it looks like jamming for Team Unicorn in the purple jerseys, we will have Booty Collins. And for the Shakedown in yellow, that's Bruise Violet. Both starting off both having trouble getting through the pack. But Booty Collins breaks through and takes lead jam. Bruise Violet not far behind her.
And Bruise Violet got slowed down really well by Battle Frog in that pack.
Gonna call it off though before Bruise Violet can score too many points here. Looks like that's 2 points for Team Unicorn.
Once again, a good block by Battle Frog, slowing down Bruise Violet, not allowing her to get through, allowing Team Unicorn to get that first lead jammer status of the bout.
Well, for this jam, it looks like we will have Shantastic McAwesome for Team Unicorn, and Annie Smackyow for the Shakedown.
It was fantastic, awesome, very quickly off, picking up lead jammer status. And Annie Smackyo knocked to the outside. It's like a low block by a magnitude.
Shantastic getting back to the back of the pack. Ooh, gets knocked out and calls off the jam.
A magnitude picking up that low block right at the front of that pack. One of those penalties that might have been worth it. It kept Smacky out inside the pack, allowed Team Unicorn to grab a couple more points.
All right, lining up for this jam, we have Daisy Juke jamming for Team Unicorn and Undead Miss Red for the Shakedown. We're getting started here, and Daisy Juke comes around the outside to take lead jam really quickly. But the Shakedown jammer just now getting through. Well, Daisy Juke has made it through the pack again. That is those were some quickly and well-scored points.
The Team Unicorn putting up a good defense so far, really keeping that Shakedown jammer caught inside the pack, not allowing her to get free. Make sure to open up a hole, but their jammers are also very quick off the line, finding that opening.
All right.
Looks like we're going into an official timeout. Going to mention one of the Mad Rollin Doll sponsors. Sponsor the jam line that is a 1055 Triple M. Locally programmed in Madison for Madison. That is a 1055 Triple M. And keep in mind, you can talk to us in the announce booth using the hashtag #TalkToWFTDA. Know it, love it, you'll be using it a lot over the tournament season.
All right, they're lining up for this next jam. So we've got Hammer Abbey jamming for Team Unicorn. It looks like we have Flutter for the Shakedown. Scrum starts. Ooh, Flutter gets knocked out the outside and cycled back to the back of the pack. However, both jammers still struggling through the pack. Flutter getting continuously cycled to the back. And Hammer Abbey is broken through for the take lead jammer for Team Unicorn.
Flutter was having a tough time with good riddance and magnitude.
Wow. Hammer Abbey just slicks right through that pack, calls off the jam, preventing the Shakedown from putting any points on the board. Very well done.
Very, very strong strategy from Team Unicorn. Get those quick points, call off the jam, those 4 points, the bread and butter of roller derby. Should keep your opponent at 0, and Shakedown still not on the board. Team Unicorn only with 15, but it's been a fairly low scoring affair so far. Most points in any jam was 5.
All right, to start this jam, we have John Snark for the Team Unicorn and Puck for the Shakedown. And John Snark gets through, taking lead jam. Puck still working her way through the pack. Team Unicorn's defense is doing a really good job of keeping her back, but she does finally break through and can start scoring points. John Snark breaks through the pack on her second scoring pass and calls off the jam just as Puck starts getting to the pack. Looks like no points for the Shakedown. Oh, no, I'm sorry, 1 point.
That Puck just kept fighting and found a way through. Got that 1 point. I believe that was Guacamole she passed to pick up her single point, putting the Shakedown on the board. But Conan, the librarian, Puck thought she found an opening. Conan stepped in front and knocked Puck to the ground.
Starting this jam, we have Bumblebee Beatdown jamming, has just taken lead jam for Team Unicorn, with Bruise Violet shortly behind her. Both jammers coming up to the back of the pack. And the jam is called off before any points can go up. Oh, I'm sorry, my mistake. Team Unicorn does end up scoring 2 points.
She was just able to get those tables ahead. Bruise Violet, though, forced the issue, showing a lot of speed out there, cutting down the advantage very quickly, forcing Team Unicorn to call it off after only 2 points.
We've got Booty Collins in purple for Team Unicorn jamming, and Annie Smackiao in yellow for the Shakedown. Well, Booty Collins gets around the outside to take lead jam. Annie Smackiao still fighting her way through the pack. Dealing with quite a formidable wall of purple. Annie Smackiao gets through the pack. She is, however, not lead jammer. Booty Collins calls it off.
That Team Unicorn defense just kept recycling, make sure that they stayed in front. Want to make sure that Pacquiao was not able to get through. But good, strong defense being put on by the Shakedown, minimizing the damage. 4 points, but it could have been so much worse for the Shakedown. They just kept forcing Booty Collins back.
Ready to start this jam with Hammer Abby jabbing for Team Unicorn and Puck again for Shakedown. Ooh, looks like a track cut for Puck. It's going to mean a power jam for Team Unicorn. The Shakedown's defense is going to do everything they can to keep Hammer Abby from getting through. Didn't keep her for long as she picks up 5 points.
Team Unicorn using that slowdown strategy, allowing their jammer to catch up very quickly to the pack. Another 5 points.
And Hammer Abby is going to call off the jam as Puck gets back into play. Score now 40 for Team Unicorn and 1 for the Shakedown.
Yeah, it looked like Hammer Abby didn't see her bench asking for the call off. Puck was standing and they wanted to get that advantage to start this jam. She didn't see it happen and didn't call it off in time. Puck got free. That allows Shakedown to have their jammer back. But that jammer penalty, only the second penalty we've had so far this half.
All right, Daisy Juke jamming for Team Unicorn gets through as lead jam. Flutter jamming for the Shakedown, still getting through the pack.
Jean Snark into the penalty box.
That is a frightening defense out there for Team Unicorn. They're just not letting the Shakedown jammers put any points up on the board.
Frightening but problematic. They've just had a cycle of players going into the penalty box. So many that actually Guacamole cannot report. Jean Snark and didn't quite catch that. I believe that was Conan the Librarian. Looks like Jonas Markle actually standing in the penalty box. That will allow Guacamole to report once she is sent off.
So we've got Shantastic McAwesome jamming for Team Unicorn this jam. And it looks like Annie Smackiao for the Shakedown. Annie Smackiao gets through. She's taking lead jam for this jam. Oh. A little bit of a twirl there. Shantastic McAwesome does get through. However, she is not your lead jammer. Annie Smackiao recycled to the back, calls off the jam. Yep. That's 1 more point for the Shakedown. Team Unicorn didn't pick any up that jam.
Well, an impressive defense by Team Unicorn, but Shantastic McAwesome being the only one out on the track with Guacamole reporting, and Jean de Snark not released yet from the bench. So good, stiff defense, forcing Annie Smackiao to call that jam off before she really picked up anything. We got a score of 48-2 right now. Team Unicorn, they're doing some very strong defensive things in this game.
They're also not only is their defense been really strong, but their jammers have just seemed to be able to snake through the pack with surprising ease.
Yeah, their jammers have had a quick step off that jam line, finding that opening, sometimes going to the outside, sometimes going to the end, but they've had that opening almost every single jam. The only time that Chicago got lead jammer was when they only had one blocker to defend.
So we are in the midst of an official timeout right now. We'll be resuming play once the officials have figured out, I believe might be working out penalties, I'm not quite sure.
And keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, after this bout is over, of which there's still 19 minutes, 15 seconds in the first half, score 48-2, Team Unicorn on top. But after this bout is over, we're going to be moving on to the A squads with the Syndicate taking on the Dairyland Dolls. And we're going to finish out the day of the triple header with the B squads for both leagues.
It's a good opportunity to talk a little bit more about the sponsors from Rollin Dolls. One of our great sponsors is the Monkey Bar Gym, where Derby girls work out to be strong enough for Derby. At Monkey Bar Gym Madison, we understand both high-level athletic performance and physical limitation. We've trained professional athletes and weekend warriors, firefighters, grandmothers, carpenters, and cancer survivors. Monkey Bar Gym.
It looks like one thing already has come out of this official timeout. The Shakedown has been given an additional point. That puts the score 48-3 now with 19:15 left in the first half. But the official timeout continues. And once again, if you are a roller derby fan, we are entering the most beautiful time of the year. Tournament season starts up next week. Opening up with Division II tournament in beautiful Duluth, Minnesota. And then the Chicago outfit will be in Kitchener, Ontario for the following D2 tournament.
Looks like the official timeout is over now. Getting ready to start up this next jam. So it looks like we have Undead Miss Red skating for jetting for the Shakedown, and Battle Frog for Team Unicorn. Undead Miss Red takes lead jam for the Shakedown, with Battle Frog close on her heels. Getting to the back of the pack. Oh, and the jam is going to be called. So, 2 points for the Shakedown, 0 for Team Unicorn.
Battle Frog putting on a burst of speed, forcing that issue, forcing Undead Miss Red to only pick up the 2, but Team Unicorn held scoreless, 48-5, 18:25 left to go in the first half.
That point spread is certainly not insurmountable. There's plenty of time left in this game for Shakedown to close that gap. All right, this new jam is starting. We've got Donna Stunner jamming for Team Unicorn. And it looks like Bruise Violet for the Shakedown. Donna Stunner taking lead jam for Team Unicorn. Bruise Violet hot on her heels. Donna's going to call off the jam after scoring a few points there. All right, looks like Team Unicorn scored 2 points on that last jam.
That's going to put Chicago at 5, Team Unicorn at 50, 17:27 to go. But Donna Stunner thought she had an opening on the outside, got knocked to the ground.
John DeStark is the Team Unicorns jammer this one. And let's see, it looks like Flutter is jamming for the Shakedown. John Stark gets through, takes lead jam. Flutter still working against that purple wall. No pack is called though, so no more contact can be made outside of with the jammer. So Flutter gets through, goes around for a scoring pass. But not before John Stark pulls off the jam.
And D-Rad or Die sent into the penalty box for that destruction. Also looked like Pandemic had tried to draw the Team Unicorn into a track cut. It did not happen. So we put the score 53-5 with 16 minutes, 24 seconds left to go in the first half.
So we'll have Annie Smackiao jamming for the Shakedown, and Bumble Beatdown for Team Unicorn. Bumblebee Beatdown gets through for Team Unicorn. Ooh, while Flutter is, or Annie Smackiao, I'm sorry, is recycled back to the back of the pack. Still struggling against that wall as Bumble Beatdown gets through on her next pass.
A good heads-up play by Hammer Abbey to force Annie Smackiao back deep.
Bumble Beatdown calls off the jam. The score now is 60 for Team Unicorn and the Shakedown at 8.
Got 15 minutes, 10 seconds left in the first half. So far, relatively clean game. Neither team picking up all that many penalties yet.
Bruce Violet jamming for the Shakedown. And the Heat is out as lead jam for Team Unicorn.
It almost didn't seem like the Shakedown realized that she was coming through the pack. Very quickly off her lead jammer.
Scoring another 5 points for Team Unicorn. The Heat goes around. Bruce Violet almost through the pack. Just barely gets through. Heat's looking to break through this yellow wall, I'm sorry. And calls off the jam. Wow.
And the Heat just bowled her way through that pack. Had a little bit, the slightest of openings on the inside, and just bowled her way through. That's going to put the score 74-8. 13 minutes, 50 seconds left to go. Keep in mind, you can talk to us on Twitter using the hashtag #TalkToWFTDA.
We have Flutter up, jamming for the Shakedown. And it looks like Hammer Abbey is up for Team Unicorn.
Hammer Abbey, the lead scorer of the game so far. She's got 19 points. Was assisted by a little bit of a power jam, but has 19 points so far to lead all scorers. Her teammate, the Heat, with 14.
Well, we are going to take an official timeout, though.
So they're just making sure they've got everything all clear, and we've got the around the world signal. We are ready to get back to the roller derby.
Official timeout has concluded. Ready to get this jam underway.
Once again, the score is 74 for Madison, 8 for Chicago, just over 14 minutes to go.
Hammer Abbey does break through to take lead jam. Oh, Flutter started to get through the pack, but took a tumble. Now going to have to get through that defense again as she almost gets cycled back to the end of the pack. Wow. Wow, Hammer Abbey just sneaking her on the inside, picking up another 5 points. Can she do it again? And she does. Oh.
Picks up a back block call on that. First time she jerked away around Rapscallion. The second time she was trying to do the same around Hooligan. Was unable to get past Hooligan without picking up that back block. That's going to put the Shakedown on a power jam. Flutter going to try and get back some of those points. The Shakedown are staring at as a deficit.
Looks like Fantastic McAwesome is taking a multi-block penalty. So she will be spending 30 seconds in the box.
And there's directional play penalty being assessed about a boombox.
All right, Hammer Abbey is back out of the box, looking to try to score some points here.
There's 15 seconds left in this jam with Hammer Abbey having been lead before she went in. So see if either jammer can pick up any more points in this last pass.
And the jam ends. That was a good jam for the Shakedown to make some points back.
Oh, definitely. And even though the differential is still pretty much exactly what it was before, it's got to feel a lot better looking at 21 than it did looking at 8. The score is now 92-21. Team Unicorn still on top. 12 minutes, 1 second left to go. Team Unicorn taking a team timeout.
Most definitely enough time for the Shakedown to make a comeback in this and start getting those points back, closing that spread.
Well, and with that jam, Flutter putting up 15. She's now the second highest scorer in the game, passing the Heat by 1. But the jammer for Team Unicorn, who was out there that last jam, that was Hammer Abbey. Hammer Abbey now with 37 points on the game. So only 2 players having gone to the penalty box twice. Again, it's been relatively clean all game. With those 2 players, Conan Librarian and Rapscallion, both sitting with 2 penalties. Neither one anywhere near to being in danger of fouling out.
All right, the timeout has concluded. About ready to get this jam going. See, we've got Guacamole jamming for Team Unicorn. And we have Puck for the Shakedown. Guacamole wasting no time getting to the front of that pack. She is held back for a while by Beatrix Itch, but she does manage to get through to take lead jammer. Puck is now through the pack as well. Guacamole getting through really quickly. Calls off the jam just before Puck can get in, start scoring points on that one. Very well done.
A good strong defense once again by Team Unicorn, keeping Puck back. The last line of defense was Booty Collins, number 3 AM. Booty making sure to hold Puck back. Guacamole got through the pack, grabbed her points. And we have another official timeout. I believe this one's going to be a scoring. Because I know the Guacamole picked up points, but the scoreboard does not show that as of yet. So they're just going to make sure they get everything lined up.
Well, we'll see what the officials have to say.
Another one of our sponsors for the Mad Rollin Dolls, Be Cool Entertainment, spinning the awesome music around the Dairyland Dolls bouts is Be Cool Entertainment, your entertainment headquarters. Check them out online at BeCoolEntertainment.com. Actually, looks like we might be in a little bit of an extended timeout. Looks like they may have had to swap computers. It's a little bit warm inside the space. So swapping computers to make sure we still have a working scoreboard as the bout goes on.
Yeah, that is one thing about the barn here. It is always warm in the barn.
And once again, if you would like to talk directly to the announce booth, you can contact us on Twitter. Use the hashtag #TalkToWFTDA. That's talk, the number 2, WFTDA. Know it, love it, hashtag it. We've got a score of currently 92-21. I believe there's still some points for Team Unicorn that need to be added. 11 minutes, 14 seconds left in this first half. We'll take a halftime break. Back for the second half of this bout. And then coming up after this, the Dairyland Dolls and the Chicago outfit, the Syndicate. Top 2 A teams taking on each other.
I'm really looking forward to that bout. That's going to be some really good derby, if you ask me.
Some very good teams with history between each other. Chicago holding a 2-1 series lead. But anything can happen. And Chicago is looking at heading into the D2 tournaments for WFTDA tournament season. Dairyland Dolls looking at a D1 invite. They're going to Charleston. They're the number 7 seed in their tournament.
Those will also be some fantastic bouts. I wish I could be there.
Thankfully, if you can't be there for the tournaments, you can always watch them streaming online on WFTDA.tv.
Well, isn't that convenient and amazing?
So again, those tournaments starting up next weekend in Duluth, Minnesota. The first of the Big 7 tournaments.
Well, speaking of the stream, we'll talk about one of our other sponsors here at the Mad Rollin' Dolls is Hinckley Design and Production. They produce everything from videos, commercials, to interviews and sporting events, including this one that you are watching right now. Hinckley Design and Productions takes your project from start to finish.
We do indeed have 4 more points put up on the board for Team Unicorn. The score is now 96-21. They're just making sure to get everything lined up. We've got a difference in the clock for the 2 scoreboards. Looks like we're going to run with it. Going to the official scoreboard, we've got 11 minutes, 18 seconds left in period number 1. And your Jammers lineup for Team Unicorn, that is Donna Stunner. And on the Shakedown, D Ride or Die.
Donna Stunner gets cycled back to the back of the pack. Looks like that was Fox Force. And, D Ride or Die is taking lead. Jam is going through the pack on her scoring pass. Almost through the pack. ends up calling off the jam before Team Unicorn can put any additional points on the board.
Very, very good job by D-Ride or Die to keep her head on that swivel. Saw that Donna Stunner was about to come up on the back of the pack. Wanted to keep Team Unicorn from adding any more points to their lead. Called off the jam. Put 3 up herself. A score of 96-24. Team Unicorn still on top. Just under 10.5 to go in the first half.
Conan the Librarian lining up to jam for Team Unicorn. And we've got Annie Smackiao jamming for the Syndicate. Jam begins. Annie's looking to get close to the start in front of the pack, but the Team Unicorn defense rallies, tries to keep her back, does not succeed. Annie Smackiao is your lead jammer. Looks like Conan the Librarian still struggling back in the pack. Oh, she's gone out.
It's like that's a back block being assessed to Conan the Librarian. That's going to allow Annie Smackiao to have a power jam. She'll enjoy 30 seconds of being the only jammer on the track.
Smackiao picking up another 5 points on that pass, looking to do it again. Ooh. Big hit over there. Looks like the heat knocking Annie Smackiao out of bounds. Going to have to cycle her to the back.
Looks like the Syndicate was trying, or not the Syndicate, the Shakedown was trying to utilize passive offense. Team Unicorn said, we're going to take your passive offense and bounce your jammer around like a ping pong ball.
Conan the Librarian does finally make it through after having served her time in the penalty box.
And a back block being assessed to Annie Smackiao. She could have called off the jam. Instead came in a little bit too hot. Grabbed that back block penalty.
And since she was the lead jammer, we currently have a jam with no lead jammer, so it will go to the end of the jam clock, which is only about 10 seconds from now.
Forearm penalty being assessed to the Heat.
All right, so with that jam, the score has been brought to 101 Team Unicorn and 34 for the Shakedown.
Just under 8 minutes to go. The Shakedown, if they can get more jams like that, there's still time for them to get caught back up. But Team Unicorn's going to start out on a power jam.
Bumble beatdown. Coming around fast, looking to pick up another quick 5 points. Annie Smackiao is out of the box. Both jammers fighting their way through the pack. Bumble beatdown, getting through, picking up those 5 points. Annie Smackiao not too far behind her. Oh, Bumble beatdown getting through, picking up another 4 points. Going to call off the jam just as Annie Smackiao is getting back there, trying to start her scoring pass.
Seems like one of the things that has really helped Chicago the few times they've had is when they've had a one-on-one jammer against blockers. If Team Unicorn's been able to put 2 blockers on their jammer, that really stifled them. And that's why we're looking at a score of 110-34 with 6 minutes and 38 seconds left to go in the first half.
Booty Collins jamming for Team Unicorn with Flutter for the Shakedown. Booty Collins being held at the back of the pack by D-Ride or Die. However, she does sneak around on the inside to grab lead jam. Flutter still in the pack, working against that Team Unicorn defense. They've really been on point tonight.
Yeah, Booty Collins found that opening on the inside to pick up lead jammer status, but everyone kind of drifted towards the outside.
Booty Collins does get through the pack. having picked up another 5 points on the way. Flutter recycled back to the back of the pack. I believe that was by Battle Frog. Booty just keep getting through the pack. It keeps picking up those points.
John de Snark. Yeah, big hit by John de Snark, knocking Flutter to the outside.
And Flutter does pick up a cut penalty. She came in front of John Snark after she was knocked out of bounds. Oh.
Looks like she's being waved back on. My best guess is that John de Snark actually pulled herself too far back, pulled herself out of play. And the officials decided to overturn that penalty for cutting the track.
Wow, the Team Unicorn defense not doing a really good job not only keeping the opposing jammer back, but making those holes for their jammer to get through.
And Flutter, tired of getting stifled, ended up completing a star pass. That is now Undead Misread, jamming for the Shakedown.
The jam does get called off.
That's to put the score 136-34. Team Unicorn on top. 4 minutes, 20 seconds left. Right now it's looking pretty good to be in purple.
Oh, most definitely. They're getting a fairly comfortable lead here. Definitely not insurmountable, but it's going to get harder for the Shakedown from here on out.
Yeah, things don't change before the end of the first half. With the Shakedown getting a big number of points and holding Team Unicorn, they're going to find themselves with two opponents in the second half, one of those being the clock.
Fantastic McAwesome jamming for Team Unicorn. Puck taking lead jam for the Shakedown. Fantastic is hot on her heels though. Looks like she wants to pass. Puck is going to call it off though. Or Team Unicorn can pick up any more points.
Fantastic McAwesome coming in too hot into that pack, picking up a back block call. That's going to allow the Shakedown to start out on a power jam. Score of 136-37. Team Unicorn still with the lead. 3 minutes, 12 seconds left to go in the first half.
D-Ride or Die jamming for the Shakedown. She does get to start in this power jam, so we'll see what kind of points she can make up. No pack is called, meaning no engagement. So the jammer gets through and starts her scoring pass.
Team Unicorn about to regain the services of A Magnitude, who is standing in the penalty box. Fantastic McAwesome standing now. Got less than 10 seconds to go.
Shantaknik is awesome out of the penalty box. Working her way through the pack. But the jam is over before she can get too much damage done.
D-Ride or Die did pick up 10, and Shantastic McAwesome was just trying to bull her way through to complete that initial pass. 136-47. Shakedown starting to chip away at that lead. They've got 2 minutes left in the first half.
Hammer Abbey jamming for Team Unicorn. The number 818, Undead Misread, jamming for the Shakedown. And she takes lead jam. Hammer Abbey being recycled to the back of the pack. This is exactly what the Shakedown needs to be able to start getting back into this game.
Well, definitely, but they still have to get through and complete those scoring passes. Undead Misread fighting.
Undead Misread calling off the jam. Putting 4 points up on the board, looks like. Team Unicorn did get 1 point on that last jam.
That's going to put the score at 51-137. Just over a minute to go in the first half. We're starting to see the Shakedown taking advantage, picking up lead jammer status. It seems like they've been adapting a little bit all over the course of the first half, and they're about to come up on halftime, and they can make a lot of adjustment.
Jam starts with Puck jamming for the Shakedown. And the Heat for Team Unicorn. The Heat who has just taken lead jam. Jam ends with no points scored for either team.
And we step right into an official timeout. It looks like it actually, going off the best guess, especially watching the Team Unicorn Jammer, it may have been an inadvertent call off by the officials, prompting that timeout. By the way, the score 137-51, 32 seconds left in this first half. We were just about to come out of that official timeout, and now a timeout being taken by Team Unicorn. Yeah, as mentioned, we're starting to see the Shakedown getting lead jammer, finding a way through, and holding the Team Unicorn Jammer back a little bit longer. It looks like there's been some adjustments going on already in this game.
Yeah, they're definitely making some good adjustments and starting to pave the way for a comeback.
86 points, still a lot, but not insurmountable. One of the things that we have seen change in the last year, with penalty time being shortened down to 30 seconds, is we're not seeing those huge 40 and 45 point jams that we used to see every once in a while. Those just don't happen anymore. But it's still possible for a couple of big power jams to really help the Shakedown bring themselves right back in and get them within spitting distance of Team Unicorn.
Timeout has ended. We're going to have Undead Miss Red jamming for the Shakedown. And looks like good riddance for the Team Unicorn. Good riddance getting through the pack, taking lead jam very quickly.
Yeah, Shakedown only had two blockers out there, and good riddance to split herself between the two of them.
Undead Miss Red does get through. Gouda Riddance calling off the jam, and that will be, is that maybe the end of the first half? Yes, that is the end of the first half.
That's bringing us a halftime score of 141-51. Team Unicorn up by 90. Good, strong defense. Relatively clean game from both teams. Only one player sitting with 3 penalties so far. Some big scores. Hammer Abbey with 38. Booty Collins with 32 so far.
Yeah, it's been a really good game for Team Unicorn. Shakedown working on it. They're having a bit of trouble right now, but like I said, they're starting to figure. It seems like they're starting to figure out what they have to do to kind of keep Team Unicorn back and get back into this game.
Yeah, definitely. And again, one of the things that I was noticing and I pointed out is if the Shakedown can get that one-on-one battle, they seem to have an ability to get around. But if they've even got 2 blockers, that's where Team Unicorn can really put their defensive pressure on. So we'll see if the Shakedown can complete this comeback in the second half, or if Team Unicorn is just going to lay down the hammer. We'll be back with the second half of action in just about 9 minutes right here on WFTDA.tv. Use the hashtag #TalkToWFTDA. We will respond to your tweets. We'll be back in just under 9 minutes. Time 141-51. Team Unicorn on top. Team Unicorn in the purple. Shakedown in yellow. Gonna run down the rosters again real quick. Team Unicorn 01, Daisy Juke. 0I, Good Riddance. 10, A Magnitude. 117, Jean Du Snark. 120, Battle Frog. 3 a.m., Booty Collins. 49, Donna Stunner. 50, The Heat. 796, Conan the Librarian. 800M, Bada Boombox. 86, Guacamole. B222, Bumble Beatdown, High Five, Shantastic McAwesome, Eye for Eye, Hammurabi, 22, Happy Go Lucky, and 45, Nefarious.
And the skaters for the Shakedown, number 1031, Panda Demic, 1102, L on Wheels, 1111, Beatrice Itch, 13, Rapscallion, 182, Bruise Violet, 22, Annie Smackiao, 40, Casey Mason, 5, Fox Force, 615, Badger to the Bone, 810, D-Ride or Die, 818, On Dead Miss Red, 95, Hooligan, and XOXO Flutter. Oh, I'm sorry, as well as 123, Puck. See, Bruise Violet jamming for the Shakedown. She is not your lead jammer right now. Daisy Juke jamming for Team Unicorn is the lead jammer, and she calls the jam off.
Next, I'd like to be Eye for Eye, Hammer Abby, the lead scorer of all jammers in that first half, sitting with 38 points. It's like Daisy Juke's coming out to the jam line now. Over that first half, Team Unicorn was really putting on defensive pressure and using some good first steps by their jammers to allow themselves to establish that lead. It's now 145-51 with 29 minutes to go.
D-Ride or Die jamming for the Shakedown. Daisy Juke for Team Unicorn. Daisy Juke gets through first, takes lead jam for Team Unicorn, while D-Ride or Die has actually been recycled to the back of the pack by Battle Frog. Daisy Juke working her way through the pack. Takes a bit of a spill, giving D-Ride or Die an opportunity to get through. Daisy Juke does recover to get back out in front.
And Daisy Juke picking up that full five, including that jammer lap point. Looked like the person that actually slowed her down a little bit was D-Ride or Die.
Oh, the jam is called off. Looks like, was that 9 points for Team Unicorn? And I believe 1 for the Shakedown.
Score 154-51 at 28 minutes to go in this battle of the two C teams for the different leagues. Coming up next, after this bout is over, we're going to be moving on to the A squads. That would be the Dairyland Dolls taking on the Syndicate.
Here we've got Annie Smackiao in the yellow, jamming for Shakedown, and I believe that is Shantastic McAwesome in the purple, jamming for Team Unicorn. Ooh. Annie Smackiao does pull a track cut penalty. She'll be spending 30 seconds in the box, giving Team Unicorn an opportunity to get a power jam going on. Shantastic McAwesome does kind of slide out of bounds there, ends up having to go back to the back of the pack.
It looked like it was possibly one of the examples of the new rules regarding cutting the track coming into play. It looks like she may have wavered back on, but the intentionality was to stay out of bounds, and she retreated back, did not pick up a penalty, did grab all 5 points. That's going to put Team Unicorn up 159-51, 26 minutes, 35 seconds to go in the second half. Shakedown did get their jammer out of the box before that jam expired. It's going to allow them to set up with Undead Miss Red on the jam line. She'll be jamming against John Dusnark for Team Unicorn.
Jam begins. We have John Dusnark as lead jam for Team Unicorn, with Undead Miss Red jamming for the Shakedown. John Dusnark with an apex jump, sneaking through, picking up 5 points. Calls off the jam before Undead Miss Red could get too close.
It's going to put the score 164-51. We were talking late in the first half about adjustments that the Shakedown might have been starting to make. It looks like during halftime, Team Unicorn just doubled down everything. they've really been stifling the Shakedown so far in the second half. 25 and a half minutes to go, and Team Unicorn is just extending that lead.
Bumble beatdown on the 105.5 Triple M jammer line for Team Unicorn. Looks like Rapscallion is jamming for the Shakedown. She does get cycled to the back, with Bumble beatdown breaking through to take lead jam for Team Unicorn. Ooh, a track cut penalty is called on Rapscallion, sending her to the penalty box, giving Team Unicorn a power jam.
A good defensive tandem of A Magnitude and Donna Stunner. Those two combining to force the Shakedown jammer off the track. Rapscallion just could not get herself back on the track.
Bumble beatdown doing everything she can to take advantage of this power jam. Does make it by the Shakedown's blockers. Oh! But she pulled up a penalty. So she will be going to the penalty box as soon as she gets to there.
That's a penalty for a low block. That Bumble beatdown going in for a low block. That releases Rapscallion. We're going to have a full 2-minute jam. 43 seconds left in this jam.
So this will be a jam without a lead jammer, so it will go to the full 2 minutes. However, there are only 30 seconds of that remaining.
And that pass Rapscallion just completed was the initial pass.
Bumble beatdown's release from the box, starts working on her scoring pass. As Rapscallion goes through the pack, working on scoring her points, does get through, picking up 4 more points. And the jam clock ends out before Bumble beatdown can do too much more damage there.
And that was a good bit of defense by the Shakedown, actually helping seal off Hammer Abby so that she couldn't slow down Rapscallion. Hammer Abby had her lined up, but she was stifled by the Shakedown. Good job by the blockers cycling out and helping their jammer through. Score of 174-60, 22 minutes, 48 seconds.
Starting off this jam, Undead Misread for the Shakedown, and Booty Collins has taken lead jam for Team Unicorn. Undead Misread still struggling through the pack, just got recycled to the back. Looks like by Conan the Librarian, while Booty Collins slides through relatively uncontested. Booty Collins calling off the jam before the Shakedown can put any more points on the board.
Booty Collins grabbing 1 more point. Looks like that's going to tie her with Hammer Abby for 38 points. Both of them holding lead. Undead Misread has not had a lot of luck on the jammer line today. She's just been getting bounced around by that purple defense. Got a score of 180-60. 21 minutes, 45 seconds left to go.
Bruised Violet jamming for the Shakedown with Shantatic McAwesome up for Team Unicorn.
If I'm not mistaken, that's the first time that Bruised Violet has actually gotten lead jammer status.
Bruised Violet gets through, calls off the jam, picking up 4 points.
That was Bruised Violet's first points of the game. She's been out there jamming semi-regularly, just wasn't able to solve and unlock that Team Unicorn defense until just now. It's going to put the score 180-64, 20 minutes and 50 seconds left to go.
D-Ride or Die is our jammer for the Shakedown. And we have Battle Frog jamming for Team Unicorn. The Ride or Die does break through first, becoming lead jammer. Battle Frog is still being kept back by the Shakedown defense. We'll see how long they can hold her. Battle Frog does go out. I believe she picked up a track cut penalty, making this a power jam for the Shakedown. It's definitely something that the Shakedown needs to start closing the gap in this game.
Definitely, D-Ride or Die has already picked up 5 points, and that's going to make her the Shakedown's lead scorer. But a big difference when you look at these scores. Team Unicorn with 2 players sitting at 38, and D-Ride or Die just now getting past the 20-point mark. Now has 23 with another 5 points.
Guacamole has picked up a penalty of her own. I believe it was a low block, but I didn't, I'm positive.
Looks like D-Ride or Die going into the penalty box, picking up a forearm call. That's going to make this a power jam for Team Unicorn. And based off the time left in the jam, looks like Team Unicorn is going to probably start the next one as well.
Team Unicorn trying a star pass, passing off the star to 5-0, the Heat. She does have 10 more seconds of this jam to try to score some more points. Let's see what she can make happen.
That's part of the change in the rules about the star pass,
Slide through.
making it happen a little more frequently. So we saw the Heat get that helmet cover and skate out of the pack before putting it on. Really helps add that star pass strategy back into the game. You just get to see it more often. Team Unicorn now 185 over the Shakedown 77. 18 minutes, 15 seconds to go in this second half between these two teams.
This does start off as a power jam for Team Unicorn. Donna Stunner jamming for the Team Unicorn in purple. D-Ride or Die has just come out of the penalty box, jamming for the Shakedown. Starting to contend with that purple wall.
Looks like Bruce Violet on her way to the penalty box. Donna Stunner not lead jammer. Looked like it was a no pass, no penalty situation, but not a clean pass through the pack. Therefore, not lead jammers. That opens it up for D-Ride or Die to still pick it up. D-Ride also does not pick up lead jammer status. No signal as to exactly why, but no lead jammer status. Full 2-minute jam. 1 minute left to go.
Donna Stunner does get knocked out of bounds and cycle back to the back of the pack.
And mentioning about seeing that star pass happen more often, D-Ride or Die has passed the cap to Bruce Violet, currently inactive. And now Bruce Violet is the active jammer for the Shakedown.
A lot of spills going on out there.
That was a huge hit delivered by Undead Miss Red, knocking Donna Stunner to the outside.
That's the end of the jam. Not a bad jam for the Shakedown. A lot of back and forth in that one, though.
A lot of back and forth, but not allowing Team Unicorn to really open that lead up any further than it already is. But now the clock is really working as an opponent of the Shakedown. Team Unicorn holding a 194-82 lead. 15 minutes, 45 seconds left.
John Dusnark jamming for Team Unicorn, with Annie Smackyao jamming for the Shakedown. Annie Smacchiow does make it through the pack to take lead jam. John Dusnark just getting through herself to start her scoring pass. Annie Smacchiow just darting through the pack, calls off the jam just before John Dusnark is able to get through and start scoring points herself.
But Annie Smacchiow assessed a track cut as that jam was ending. She had called it off. It was one of the outside pack refs had noticed her skate step outside as she was coming around that pack. That's going to allow Team Unicorn in the purple to start out with the power jam, 194 to 86. 14 minutes, 45 seconds left to go in the second half.
Hammurabi jamming for Team Unicorn. Breaks through very quickly, taking advantage of that power jam.
Chicago's been having a tough time all day slowing down Hammurabi, and it looks like she's just going to turn on the jets a few more times, a couple more laps.
Wow, Hammurabi breaking through for another 5 points with an apex jump. Oh, Annie Smacchiow has now been let out of the penalty box. We'll start trying to close that gap.
Looks like Hammurabi picking up a back block penalty. That's going to put the Shakedown on a power jam. Annie Smacchiow out there, the lone jammer.
Annie does break through. We'll see what we can do with her power jam. Hammurabi does get out of the penalty box. Coming back in, see if she can even this thing out. Since both jammers have gone to the penalty box, it cannot currently be called off. It will go for the 2 minutes.
And Annie Smacchiow back into the penalty box, once again pushed to the outside. And it seems like she's been having a little difficulty with track awareness today. Just slight missteps leading to big power jams for Team Unicorn.
Jam ends just before Hammurabi can get through and make all 5 points.
And looks like we're entering an official timeout. Score is 214 for Team Unicorn, 95 for the Shakedown. Keep in mind, you can contact us on Twitter using the hashtag #TalkToWFTDA. That is talk, the number 2, WFTDA. Send your questions to us on Twitter. We will respond to them here in the booth. The Team Unicorn really turning on the Jets, making sure to extend that lead, keeping that stiff defense. And if you look at the scoring, again, just the difference between the top scorers. Hammurabi with 58 so far in this game. And the top scorer for the Shakedown is Annie Smacchiow with only 28.
Hammurabi has just been on fire all night. There's barely been anybody who can stop her.
Every time that she gets near that pack, she's just able to find a way juking from left to right, and she just fools the Shakedown every single time. And she'll get stifled a little bit and then just recycle, find another opening.
It's incredible what she can do on that track.
We've got about 12 and a half minutes to go in this second half between these C teams from the Mad Rollin Dolls and the Chicago outfit. Team Unicorn and the Shakedown. Coming up after this, we've got the Mad Rollin Dolls themselves, the Dairyland Dolls. Madison's A team taking on the Chicago Outfits A team, the Syndicate. Both teams gearing up for tournament season. Tournaments start next week. We're going to see the Chicago Outfit in Kitchener, Ontario for the second Division II tournament. And the Mad Rollin Dolls, the Dairyland Dolls, will be heading to Charleston in the final of the 4 preliminary Division 1 tournaments, all leading up to the big championships later on this fall.
Very exciting stuff, and if you can't make it to the bouts, you can watch them here on WFTDA.tv.
All right, we are out of that timeout. Yes, I believe we're out of the timeout. Score of 214-95. I'd like to thank Mini of Madison. Keep it Mini, motivated, inspired, not normal, and innovative at Mini of Madison.
Jam is underway. Daisy Juke jamming for Team Unicorn. Currently a power jam as Annie Smackyow is in the penalty box, though she will be getting out momentarily.
Annie Smackyow finishing off that track cut penalty.
Both jammers fighting their way through the pack.
Daisy Juke being slowed down for a while by Pandemic, found an opening on the inside to complete that pass.
Daisy Juke calls off the jam. 1 point made for Team Unicorn. Nada for the Shakedown.
That's going to make the score 220 for Team Unicorn, 95 for the Shakedown. 11 minutes and 35 seconds to go.
Clock is quite literally ticking here for the Shakedown. They've got to figure out something to have happen here to come back in this. Gouda Riddance jamming for Team Unicorn. We've got Rapscallion jamming for the Shakedown. Rapscallion is lead jammer for this jam. Makes her way past the Team Unicorn blockers, picking up 4 more points. Gouda Riddance still working her way through the pack. Almost got through. Gets cycled back to the back, though, by D-Ride or Die.
Rapscallion grabbing 5 points. Natural Grand Slam with all 5 Team Unicorn skaters on the track.
Rapscallion calls off the jam. And as see here, brought the score, I believe, to 104 for the Shakedown, 224 for Team Unicorn, with just about 10 minutes left.
A 9-4 jam. It could have been called off when it was 4-0, but ended up with Rapscallion getting 1 more pass, including that jammer lap point, was slightly better than originally it looked like it was going to be. But 9-4 is not going to cut it when you've only got 10 seconds left and a 120-point deficit.
Puck jamming for Team Unicorn, skating against the Heat for Team Unicorn. The Heat does get cycled back to the back of the pack by Pandemic. Though the Heat does eventually break through to take lead jam.
Looks like Puck may be having an issue potentially with the skate. Every time she's tried to stand up, that skate is given out on her again. And she's trying desperately to indicate to her pivot to make that star pass. That allows Flutter to become not lead jammer, but jammer overall for the Shakedown.
Puck still battling against that purple wall, including Guacamole and Booty Collins. Heat slicks through for another 4 points.
Casey Mason tried to lay a hit, but the Heat just found that opening, fought through.
Oh, big collisions there.
And there's a low block being assessed to the Heat. That's going to put Flitter out there in the power jam situation. Directional play penalty against John DeSmart.
John DeSmart also going to the penalty box. Oh, so this next jam will start as a power jam for the Shakedown, as well as Team Unicorn being down a blocker.
And timeout being called by a Team Unicorn. The Shakedown was already having a tough time, and then seeing their jammer go down and have difficulty with it. Looked like it was an equipment issue that was popping up. She didn't seem like she was hurt. She just couldn't actually get any traction on her wheels. So the delay until she could actually get her pivot back to pass that jammer cap really allowed Team Unicorn to just pile on some more points and get those jammer lap points. Put the score 245 to 108, 7 minutes, 39 seconds left to go. We'd like to thank one of our sponsors, Super Duper. We offer digital, offset, letterpress, and hand silkscreen printing. We specialize in CD and DVD packaging and manufacturing. That's Super Duper.
Just a little social media reminder, if you tweet at #talk2 WFTDA, you will reach us here in the booth. If you have any questions, we'd be happy to answer them. Get out there and tweet. #talk2 WFTDA.
We have no monitors, which is one of the reasons we're talking over each other. We've got 7.5 minutes to go in this second half. Once again, coming up after this, we're going to have the Chicago Outfit Syndicate taking on the Dairyland Dolls. Going to finish off the day with the B squads from both leagues. Big triple header, Chicago Outfit and Mad Rollin Dolls here in beautiful Madison, Wisconsin.
And if you are here in Madison, Wisconsin, perhaps you should check out one of our sponsors. Sponsor Ian Pizza. They have 2 downtown locations offering carryout and delivery. Salad, pizza, vegan, and gluten-free options. www.ianspizza.com. Here to help, one slice at a time.
Looks like we have shifted from an official timeout to an official review. Team Unicorn with this official review that they're asking for. Got a score of 245 to 108. Yep. Honestly, no matter what the outcome of this review, it's going to be very difficult for the Shakedown to even cut it close. They're going to need the help of a lot of penalties if they want to try and get back within fighting range of this score. Team Unicorn has just been able to open up that lead and keep extending it ever so slightly every couple of jams. The Team Unicorn opened up a 15-0 lead in the first couple of jams, and they haven't looked back since. Taking a quick glance at the penalties, none of the players in any real danger. Only one player sitting with 4 penalties. That's Annie Smackyow. She's gone to the box 4 times. A few players skating with 3, but with this little time left on the clock, not in any danger of a foul out happening. But again, the big difference has been defense and the jammers for Team Unicorn. We've got Hammer Abbey with 58 points. We've got the Heat with 35 points, Daisy Juke 31 points, and the highest point totals for any jammer on the Shakedown is Annie Smackia with only 28. When there's that many skaters for the opposing team that have more points than you, than your leading score, it shows on the score and it makes it that much more difficult for the Shakedown.
The Shakedown will get to start in the power jam here, so that'll help them start to make some points back. But getting this late in the game, it's going to be harder and harder to really put a dent in that gap.
Exactly, and also with the change to the 30-second penalties, that's also made it much more difficult to really chip away, because before with the minute penalty, it wasn't uncommon to get a 30-point power jam, and you could get a couple of those power jams back-to-back. And now you're just not seeing that anymore. Looks like Eddie Lizard, our head official, talking with the penalty box. Both jammers going to start out in the penalty box. Team Unicorn also with a blocker in the penalty box.
So we will be getting things underway here.
Looks like it's going to be the Heat and Rapscallion as the two jammers. Once again, the score 245 for Team Unicorn, 108 for the Shakedown. 7 minutes, 39 seconds left to go in this second half of the first of 3 bouts today between Madison and the Chicago outfit.
All right, the jam begins. The Heat is allowed out of the box first for Team Unicorn, followed closely by Rapscallion.
Rapscallion forced down.
He does break through to take lead jam. Rapscallion still fighting against Team Unicorn's defensive wall. Ooh, getting cycled in the back of the pack. Rough situation for Rapscallion.
Rapscallion was forced down by Shantastic McAustin, who has been effective as a jammer, but more effective as a blocker and pivot today. Really helping stifle the Shakedown jammers.
Oh, the Heat tried to call off the jam just as she got through, but ended up picking up a penalty. That'll make this a power jam for Rapscallion and the Shakedown.
There was that one-on-one battle, Rapscallion and A Magnitude. One-on-one, Rapscallion was able to get around A Magnitude.
Rapscallion breaks through, getting her 5 points, but the Heat is out and through the pack with amazing speed.
It almost seemed like Annie Smackia didn't quite realize the Heat was coming until just that last minute. Tried to get in the way and was unable to slow her down.
Oh, the Heat sneaks right by the yellow wall. Ends up passing by Rapscallion. Jam time ends.
A full 2-minute jam, and every 2-minute jam helps out Team Unicorn, just helping them put that nail in the coffin. 2:58 to 1:22, 5 minutes, 15 seconds left.
Got Booty Collins jamming for the Team Unicorn. And it looks like Undead Miss Red for the Shakedown. Miss Red does make it through to take lead jam. Booty has just made it through the pack herself. Miss Red is coming up quick to make her scoring pass. Flies right through the pack, picking up 4 points. And calling off the jam before Booty can get too far in.
That was one of the few times we've seen a Shakedown jammer knife through relatively untouched. She just found that opening on the outside, grabbed her points, called off the jam. 2:58 to 126. 4 minutes, 27 seconds to go.
We have Flutter jamming for the Shakedown. And Bumble Beatdown jamming for the Unicorns. Ooh, Flutter almost made it through. Gets knocked outside by Bada Boombox. Cycled to the back of the pack. While Bumble Beatdown breaks through, coming up on her scoring pass. But pulls a back block penalty, making this a power jam for the Shakedown. This is exactly the sort of thing they need to be able to put more points up on the board.
Yeah, at this point, though, it's a lot of this is going to be pride now that's on the line. They're just not going to be able to get back into the game fully. But these are also both a couple of C squads, so everything that they can do on the track is just going to help them learn, get that much better, move up towards the B and eventually the A rosters, help out their teams in tournament time.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
And the C squad is actually something newer that we're starting to see happen more often in roller derby. Leagues that have more skaters that can and want to travel are starting to be able to field those C squads to have that extra level. Just another way to get another team out there. Helps maximize for teams that are playing. If you can have 3 teams that come to visit you, ensures that more people are playing, better value for the audience.
Wow, Bumble Beatdown gets out of the penalty box only to be sent right back.
And she's going to be joined by Donna Stunner.
Oh, looks like there is a star pass trying to go on here. The star has been passed over to Puck.
Star pass didn't work as effectively as they were hoping because Puck was knocked to the outside before she could put the cap on. And it looks like Guacamole on her way to the penalty box as well. Team Unicorn is starting to send a lot of people. Track cuts, and then that was the direction of play block by Guacamole that forced her off the track. Looks like they're only going to have one blocker to start out with. They do have one blocker standing in the penalty box.
So John Snark jamming for Team Unicorn, but the lead jam goes to Bruise Violet for the Shakedown.
It was almost the smallest pack possible. Shakedown had 2 blockers. Team Unicorn only had 1 until they got their skater out of the penalty box. Looks like we're just going to have the micro pack now. 2-on-2 pack, both jammers.
Does look like they are playing a bit of a game of musical chairs with that penalty box.
Scores 258 to 144 with 50 seconds to go in this first half, and big hit right there.
Undead Miss Red jamming for the Shakedown. Hammer Abbey up for Team Unicorn. Took a bit of a spill there, but does break through to take lead jam for Team Unicorn.
It looked like D-Ride or Die wanted to make sure that Hammer Abbey felt every point she scored so far with a couple of big hits. But Hammer Abbey just not slowing down. She's been strong all about long.
Hammer Abbey slips through again, scoring 4 points for her team. Undead Miss Red contending with the pack, but the jam clock ends. Ooh. Just before the game ends, a timeout has been called. Looks like this was called by...
Looks to be a Team Unicorn timeout. Score of 262 to 148. Looking to get just one more jam in, giving these C squad players one more jam experience. You're only going to get better by playing the actual game and by playing against people that are better than you. This is going to be a great experience for these games. The score, 262 to 148, but it's going to be a big jam. All these guys are going to leave it all on the track.
And in roller derby, much like other sports, we will be going with the jam clock. Once the game clock ends, and there is only 3 seconds on that clock, we will be going until the jam is either called or the jam clock ends.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this will be the final jam, pending some very, very strange happenings. Final jam of this first bout, Team Unicorn versus the Shakedown. Team Unicorn 262, Shakedown 148.
Annie Smackiao jamming for the Shakedown. Daisy Juke jamming for Team Unicorn has taken lead jam. Annie Smackiao is hot on her heels, though. Daisy Juke coming up on the pack, sneaks around the outside and calls the jam. Very nice play.
Daisy Juke wanted to get her points. Annie Smackiao also wanted her points. Looks like 4 awarded to both teams. Score unofficially 266 to 152. Team Unicorn coming out on top. Purple stronger than yellow in this opening bout between these two teams. Specifically, defense. Defense, defense, defense. Team Unicorn had the defense to stop the Shakedown jammers, and the Shakedown just did not find a way to slow down the Team Unicorn jammers often enough.
That was a very rough one. Very rough with that, going up against a defense that's strong. But both teams gave it, they played very hard. And it was a good bout.
It was a very good bout. And again, both these teams, C squads, something relatively new that we're starting to see overall in Travel Derby. Coming up next, we're going to be moving on to the A squads with the Dairyland Dolls taking on the Syndicate from the Chicago outfit. Two teams that have played each other before. Chicago holding a 2-1 advantage in the head-to-head competition. But right now, Madison holding a much higher WFTDA rank. Both teams gearing up for tournaments. Madison's going into their tournament ranked number 7 in the tournament. Chicago ranked number 5 in their tournament for P2. And while rankings on paper can say one thing, the game is played on the track for a reason. We have no idea what's going to happen. Stick around. We're going to be back with that next bout in just a little bit right here. Keep on sending in the tweets at Talk2WFTDA. That's Talk, the number 2, WFTDA. I have been Wilhelm Scream.
I have been Rich Mahoney.
We'll be back the second bout of this triple header in just a little bit.